Welcome back, Danger Cats, to another Danger Cat podcast. Me, your boy, Uncle Hack, in the house. Episode, 73? Fuck, I don't know. Whatever, read the description. DangerCatShop.com. Use the code podcast69 for 15% off your order. Also, Danger Dongs, the Patreon clan. We got a couple new subscribers. Shout out to Damien Schoyen, Patrick de Guise, don't know how to say it, and Jean-FrancoismMonette. Thank you guys for signing up to the Danger Cats Patreon. We're gonna, once I get my hands on some footage, there'll be some uncensored titties on the Patreon. Anyways, here is the episode. How's that? Some ASMR. You want to hear me? Drink a coffee. First off, let's get something out of the way. This makes me laugh. I appreciate everybody's concern of my well-being. You fucking meth head! It makes me laugh. I know I look like shit. Half the population looks like shit. Plus, I've never looked good. I'm not a Brad Pitt. I'm pale white. I ate one bag of M&Ms and my face broke out like I was 14 years old. I've been sleeping in like I'm a teenager, like till noon still, like an asshole. Actually, that's a lie. This past couple weeks, I've been getting up at a decent time, going for runs. Get my mind. Oh my God, my neck. I have the worst neck issues. And I got my hands on one of those massage guns. I don't know if you've seen them. They look like, those sawzalls that porn stars use. Just a dildo smashing her ass. It's basically that, but a massage gun. I used it on my neck last night. Damn, night and day. This is the first day I've woke up in probably 2.5 months without a alcohol-induced headache. I'm kidding. I'm fucking kidding. Without just a headache, a flat-out headache. And I feel fabulous. Little pep in the step. I feel like I could do an ultra marathon with a backpack of rocks. And it ain't no thing. I just feel like fucking on top of the world today. It's a great day to be alive. It's a great day to be in Uncle Hack's shoes. No, it's not. Sitting inside. This quarantine lifestyle is, I don't know what it is. I don't know. Oh, listen, here we go. I don't know, I don't know what to think. There's days where you just days have literally mended into a month. A month and some changes went by since this bullshit started, and it was like, this is going to be a cakewalk. I'm going to get through it, no problem. A month in, you're like, Jesus Christ. I am ready to run my head through a fucking wall and then fix it just to run it through the wall again. It's insane. I feel bad for a lot of people. I feel bad for the people that are going through the financial hard times. That's the one that bugs me the most. There's nothing I can fucking do about it. If I was a wealthy man, I would try and help, bring some food to some people, but I'm just not. There's literally nothing you can do about it. And we're just spoon-fed bullshit from politicians that don't have a fucking clue what's going on. It drives me bananas. These cocksuckers just sitting there. Mr. Speaker, we need to know. And for those Americans, our politics is pathetic. Me and my buddy, actually, he's been on the podcast before for the long-time listeners. Tyler. Me and Tyler were talking about it. He's like, our politics is just pathetic. Mr. Speaker, does the leader of the opposition, does he recognize that there is, that dogs are still shitting on the grass in front of Parliament Hill, Mr. Speaker? Yes or no? You see, we have love for all dogs of all breeds. It's just fucking bullshit. I did find out, I was doing like some reading on Big Trudy there, and I was going down his family tree. His great grandfather was a very heavy conservative. Found that out. Interesting news. What happened there, hey? What happened there? You Frenchmen need to figure your fucking people out. That's what needs to go down. I hate how hard Canada's getting cucked right now. It bothers me. We send a cargo jet over to China to get medical supplies, and like the Chinese just looks at Big Trudy like, suckle my Chinese nuts. And then sends the fucking plane back empty. If it's there, why wouldn't you just leave it there? Get the fucking thing filled up, send it back. What the fuck? Like, politics, I understand. I don't have a political science degree, and listen, I'm never going to run for prime minister. Don't even fucking say I should be prime minister. I can't, I am not suitable for the job. I will never be suitable for that job. I'm a moron. I'm a dipshit. I am a dumb fuck. Like, and to give me the keys to the kingdom and run it, what do you think would happen? Nobody would like me. I know for a fact you would hate me. Like, because as much as I'm like, quit being lazy and get to work. At the same time, I have fucking empathy for people that are trying to get back on their feet. So, oh, look at him. He's just another liberal pussy. As soon as you do something to help somebody else, oh, he's a liberal pussy. Should get off his ass and fucking work like me. Yeah, well, you know what? We're all different. And I think that a lot of people don't just sit back and realize like, hey, two people aren't alike. You know, you may agree on a lot of shit, but there's a lot of fucking things that you and your friends even disagree on. You know, the people that you grew up with fucking disagree on. So, I don't know. We shit on politicians and somebody's always like, well, if you don't like it so much, why don't you do it? Oh, shut the fuck up. That's our job. That's our job to criticize the government. You are getting raped and pillaged for your fucking dollars that you earn, and you don't think that your fucking voice shouldn't be heard? Come on. Come on. Plus, I don't speak polished enough. I don't know enough fancy words to convince the public that I am a great, outstanding member of society and that you should let me lead you into the darkness. Don't worry, I know where we're going. We're going into a dark tunnel, and we'll just feel the walls until we fucking figure this out finally. How many years is it going to take of democracy before we actually have a solid plan in place? You know? How many years is it going to take before greed and corruption is eradicated out of the political systems? You know? I wish Americans would just sit back and realize, like, Trump isn't that bad. Like, you know what? I'm not going to say, oh, Trump 2020. Ah. I'm not going to sit there and say that, but he's actually trying. He wants to, you know, there's studies coming out. Who is it? USC? Is it USC? It's a university in California said the death rate of this virus is like 0.2%, if I'm correct. And without the geezers, without the elderly dying, it's substantially less. I haven't seen it, but I was discussing it earlier today with a friend about there was a mic left hot. And a politician's like, oh, I wouldn't worry about that. You know, that study came out. And he was talking about the study out of California. Also mentions, oh, don't even wear that mask. We're vaccinated. So, pardon me. And then they had to come out and be like, oh, he was just joking. He was just joking? What? Come on. Give your nuts a tug. Give your nuts a tug. Oh, we're just joking. And then you have Facebook. You know what the first sign of a liar is? When they're sitting there trying to convince you to listen to them. When you have somebody sitting there, no, I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. If they're telling the truth, usually it just rolls off the tongue, comes naturally. And now we have all these media umpires. We have the government trying to censor. Oh, that's conspiracy theory. Facebook is like, wow, it's got to be fact checked. It needs to be fact checked by us, whether it's true or not. So now you're censoring what the fact that people can question things. Come on. The liberal government here in Canada is like, well, no, it needs to be fact checked by us. Bullshit. And we're still overlooking the fact that Justin Trudeau is a fucking criminal. He's a criminal. He should be sitting in a prison cell, but because he is in the place where he is, if me and you pulled the shit that he did, we would be doing 30 years in fucking prison. Everything from the SNC Lavalin scandal, the list goes on. Like, he's been caught literally funding the Islamic State with taxpayer dollars, and nothing's done about it. Nothing's done. And we sit here and we wonder, he's a wonderful leader. He's got great hair. Oh, man, like, I wish people would just wake the fuck up. And it's not like this is a liberal conservative thing for me. It's not. It's literally in all levels of government, there's some form of corruption. And it's sad. It's sad because regular day working people like me and you get fucked in the end. All for what? For what? We want a good life. And this is what pisses me off with a lot of people is we fail to recognize a lot of the time that it doesn't matter if your race, religion, sexuality, we all want the same thing in the end. And I know I've talked about this numerous times on this podcast. We want the same thing, a good life, a fucking stress-free life. We don't want to work 3 jobs. Nobody wants to work 3 jobs just to make ends meet. It's simple as that. You want to be able to go on vacation. You want to give your kids things. You want your kids to have a good life. I personally don't have kids, but when I see my friends, that do have kids, they all speak of the same thing. Everybody's got the same message. It doesn't matter the fucking skin color they are, what God they think is the best. They all want the same shit. Oh, yeah, man, I just, I want the best for my kids. Those words have came out of every single parent I know. Why do you work overtime? Well, my kid really wants to play hockey. My kid really wants to go learn how to dirt bike. My kid wants to start hunting. My daughter really wants to get into dance classes, so I picked up an extra shift so that way I could buy her ballet shoes and pay for her lessons. It's sickening. It's sickening. At the end of the day, it's sickening that you have to sacrifice your life more and more and more, taxed more. And God forbid you work overtime, then you're taxed even more. You make almost less money. Like, it makes no sense to me. Because you want to do more and provide more for your family, you get punished for it. God forbid, stay in line. We don't need you. We don't need you going overboard here. It's sad. It's fucking sad. Not everybody has entrepreneurial spirit that they want to go out and take the risks in doing things. Like, for instance, if I had a family, I would not do this. I would not. I would play it safe. And even playing it safe got us all in the same position that we're in today. But I'm saying that I would play it safe to ensure that my kids can eat. Taking the leap of faith, wondering if is Danger Cat's going to take off or not. That's a big leap of faith. And, a lot of people don't want to risk it. Because what if it does bite you in the ass? Then you're sitting there thinking like, fuck. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I know a lot of people that they're willing to risk it for the greater good. That's a big risk to take. That's a huge risk to take. And I don't blame people for not wanting to do that and playing it safe to make sure their kids, you can provide for the kids, make sure the wife is taken care of. Hey, listen, I'll work, you take care of the kids. Tell me a better gig. Tell me a better gig. that you can survive on one income. Wouldn't that be fucking fantastic? You know, the wife or husband, whoever, it doesn't matter. Oh, you think women should just be housewives? Oh, you think that women should just be at home taking care of the kids? Yeah, because they're fucking better at it. They're better at it. Let's be honest. Women give a shit a little more. How many times have you left the kids with dad and the kid has all of a sudden a new cut on his arm? You know, because men are just big children. They are. You know why every father loves hanging out with his fucking kid? Because they get to do the shit that they really want to do. You know, fucking jump bikes. Oh yeah, you're not gonna believe it. I told my kid to jump his bike off this giant dirt jump. He did it. It was fucking awesome. That's a father. A mother is more concerned. Oh my God, don't do that. It's just natural. It's natural. Well, not everybody's the same. You just said that earlier. I know that, but there's just natural things that come natural with genetics. And women they just got that tender love and care. Men are a little more brass, you know? It's the way the fucking world works. Oh, I can't believe you would just assume genders a certain way, Hack. Okay, we're done with this conversation. See, this is what quarantine's doing with me. I argue with myself. Oh, fuck. I would like to say, though, condolences to all the families out in Nova Scotia that did lose a loved one in what was just a horrific event. A horrific event. That is just, it's sickening. It's sickening, you know, and I seen an interview of a man that said that he had to walk up and see his brother dead on the street. Dead on the street. First off, shame on the fucking media. That man showed up to go pick up his vehicle that he could finally get it out of that goddamn crime scene and hopefully go back to Halifax to his home. And he was in the area. I can't remember the name. Name don't matter. Name of the town don't matter right now, but this poor man is going to pick up his vehicle that was in the area. He was visiting his father. His brother was there. His brother was a local fireman, I believe. Is what the fella said, if I'm correct. And he was going to help put out a fire. And then the gunman shot his brother in the street, in which his brother was going to check the situation, heard gunshots, didn't hear from him, tried getting a hold of him, couldn't get a hold of him. And he walks up to see his brother fucking murdered in cold blood. First off, that's a horrific thing to see. That's a horrific thing to see. I don't wish that upon my worst enemy, to walk upon a dead family member, especially in that matter. Secondly, when the man finally goes to the scene to back to the area to pick up his vehicle, he's bombarded by media. In my mind, now this is in my mind, you pieces of shit, you're trying to pry out any sort of information you possibly can from this man that is clearly, he's in some sort of distress, you can see it in his eyes, like it hasn't quite hit him yet. He's able, it was just this emotion. You can feel the emotion of this man. He's choking up and he's trying to talk. It almost looks like he's disoriented. And you pieces of shit are more worried about the story than that man's mental health. I am a full-on advocate for mental health, and that man should have been sitting with somebody with professional help or talking about what the hell is going on in his head. Because if I seen that, I would be angry. I would be angry to go up and see one of my siblings murdered in that fashion, in the street like that, in a small town that you would never expect. I would be angry. I'd be pissed off. I would be enraged. And I'm not saying I would go on a fucking manhunt or anything, because the aggressor he's already been shot and killed. So that man right there, he, in my mind, again, in my personal opinion, needs to sit and talk with somebody, not the fucking media, not having 16 cameras in his face. Well, where did you see your brother? Oh, how did you know he was dead? I don't know. The fact that there's 6 bullet holes in his chest and there's blood all over the fucking ground, that didn't give it away? Fucking unreal. It's fucking sad. That's fucking sad. I couldn't imagine what that poor fella had to go through. I don't know. That is what I took from it, and it irritated the shit out of me seeing it. But condolences to not just to him, but to everybody that lost somebody in that. That's a horrific event. And the first thing to come out, well, we need more control on guns, only for it to come out that this man bought an illegal firearm. It was illegal. He was charged in 2002, so he is unable. For the American listeners, we have we already have pretty strict gun laws here. We don't have the Second Amendment. We don't have it. You can only have firearms for sporting purposes. You can't own firearms for protection, for the sole purpose of protection. It's for sport. All of our firearms are for sport, whether you're going to the gun range and shooting there, or you're an active hunter. And so we don't have that. We don't have the option of just walking in and buying a firearm. You have to go, first off, you got to take a course for your unrestricted gun license. So that is like long barrel rifles that you can use for hunting. Your restricted then is handguns, your assault rifles. I don't know the law by word, but this is just a quick brief. So this man had neither of those gun licenses. He didn't have an unrestricted or restricted because, well, he was charged in 2002 for, I believe, aggravated assault, in which he cannot purchase a firearm. Now, the next question came, and then they're questioning, okay, well, we don't know. They were questioning, does he have his gun license? Does he have his gun license? Does he have his gun license? Well, we don't know. Yes, you fucking do. It took 2 seconds. And then when the public fucking goes and digs this information and starts pushing it and pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, then all of a sudden, oh yeah, no, he didn't have it. It's like these motherfuckers tend to forget that there's this thing called the internet that exists where people can communicate in lightning fast time. I can tweet somebody and have an answer. Boom, boom, tweet, boom, got it. Okay, I can text somebody. I can go on the internet and actively search this guy's name, his background, what he did. I can find the information equally as quick as the media. And we can do our own research now. It's not like the 60s where you're like, oh, kind of word of mouth bullshit, or you're you got to go to the library and skim through old articles and you're jumping around. No, everything's in a database. I can go on Google, boom, type in his name, figure out where he works, where he lives. Hell, if I really wanted to get deep, I can go on the deep web or the dark web, find somebody, pay them to fucking hack everything I need and have that information. It's like these they seem to think like we're morons all the time. Like we say this, you listen. That's it. Don't question anything. We say it, you absorb the information. We say this shit, absorb the information. Like, we're not as stupid as we were before. We're a little more resilient on absorbing information because the media and politicians lie to us over and over and over again, and they get caught, and then they got to backtrack instead of just giving the fucking truth. And you wonder why people question the narrative as much as they do now. Because simple reason. You fucking lie and you get caught. It's a process as old as time. Like these old politicians seem to forget that there is youngsters like myself, and even, well, not even, I call myself a youngster, but there is kids younger than fucking them by 40, 50 fucking years that understand the internet and technology 4,000 times better than they ever will. And that they can find information about that person and what they said in interviews from 1996 that will contradict their thoughts and beliefs today. And I like that kind of bothers me at times because, people do change. They do. I change. Hell, in a year, I've changed drastically. Last year, I've talked about it before, I was fucking like deeply depressed. I was doing cocaine like all the time, as much as I possibly could, every weekend, sometimes during the week. It didn't matter. I didn't give a shit. I was boozing all day, every day. No, that's a lie. I wasn't boozing all day, every day, but I was drinking a lot, more than I actually like actively should have been. I was doing zero physical activity, and my mental health was shit. And a year from then, I'm totally different. I don't do any drugs. I've maybe ate 4 weed gummies in the past 6 months, but it's legal. And I think that marijuana is a better alternative than alcohol at times. Although I do enjoy a good drink. I barely drink now. I got half snapped on that one live stream, and I was like, I'm not doing that again. I don't like that. It bothered me. It deeply bothered me sitting there getting shit-faced by myself on a fucking webcam. But people do change. They do. And I get it. But when you have, with politicians, when you're a career politician and some of the shit you said back in the day is quite questionable and people use that against you, I'm not quite for it. I guess it's kind of hypocritical because I am the person to be like, well, in 1996, he said that he wasn't for gay marriage. And now all of a sudden he is. I get that. Like what? But it seems like we only take whatever fits our puzzle pieces in the sense of like, oh, well, I don't like that guy because he hates gays in 96. And then turn around and be like, well, I like this guy. Well, he said the same shit. Yeah, but I like him better. Well, then you got to hold them both accountable for what they said in the past. No? Or am I wrong? Fuck. Like, let's use Hillary Clinton, for instance. Joe Biden, openly fucking for segregation back in the day. Hillary Clinton was fully against gay marriage. Fast forward, now all of a sudden it's like, well, I'm all for gay marriage. It's like, you lying bitch. No, you're not. You'll say whatever you have to say to make sure that you can get the votes. And that's disgusting. I don't know the process that we'd ever have to take or the measures that we'd have to go through to make sure that we have politicians that actually give a shit about the public. I almost think that you need somebody that wasn't born into wealth. Somebody that came from somewhere, a businessman that understands the nature of people. He had to grow up in I wouldn't say poverty, but like definitely not how Big Trudy's lifestyle was, where flying around the world. You see the fucking guy he just, in my mind, does not fit the credentials of what a fucking leader should be. Like ex-Navy SEALs make great leaders. Like that Dan Crenshaw down in Texas. I think he's a phenomenal leader. They teach you some pretty rad stuff. I've been listening to Jocko's podcast, and he's a very, very intelligent person. Understands emotion and what it takes to drive somebody to go to the next level to make sure that they can accomplish the goals that they have set in front of them. And that's phenomenal. I love listening to that stuff. Like overcoming your fears or overcoming your the mental stress that you put on yourself. Like, I'm not good enough. And he breaks that down, and he'll break down how you structure your sentences. like, oh, he's saying this because he's insecure. And that's phenomenal to me. It's almost like having like an actual psychiatrist that isn't a psycho bitch from high school that decided like, oh, I need to help people. Why is it always that? Why are always like any female that I've met, and it's not just females. I know there's male psychologists out there. I know. I've just only met females that are in psychology. And as soon as they say, oh, I'm majoring in psychology. Oh, so you are mentally unstable yourself. It's always the mentally unstable that think that they're stable enough to help other people. I've never understood that. It's got to be, there should be a study on that. That's where we should put our study. But what Navy SEALs, I think, make excellent leaders. First off, they've seen the effects of war. They've been on the front lines of war. And especially, well, in a Navy SEAL that's been in combat. So they know what the effects of it. They're not pushing to pull the trigger. But if they had to, they would, which they know the emotion behind pulling that trigger. And that's a fucking big decision to make. That's a huge decision to make. They also understand the emotions that go through making those decisions with teammates. They understand that they need to work with a team to accomplish the goals that are set in front of them. You're not just going to go in like Rambo and fucking mow down 300 ISIS members. Not a chance. You need a team to do that. And they work together in very high stress situations and remain calm and are able to accomplish the goals that are set in front of them. I think Navy SEALs make great leaders. And I think that they obviously, like, you know, some go a little loopy, but and the effects of war. But a guy like Jocko, that is an excellent leader. That guy is an excellent leader. Listening to him talk, he's a phenomenal human. I love listening to his podcast. I'm still new to it, but yesterday I just threw on the headphones and went for like probably a 2-hour walk. I didn't even realize I was walking for 2 hours, and I just listened to him talk about overcoming. Somebody asked him a question of overcoming. What was it? The like. People not listening to them. Why do I feel like I'm always put on the back burner? Nobody wants to listen to me or disregards everything that I have to, any advice or any, what am I trying to say here, Brendan? Get your fucking noodle going, bro. Fuck, man. Like, I guess any advice or how we should accomplish the goal or how we can fucking, fuck, I can't figure out what the fuck I'm trying to. This is why I would never be a politician. I'd be up there. Yes. The dog farts do carry coronavirus. The weather is nice. That's why I can never be a prime minister. I can't speak. I can't even put my thoughts into words half the time. One thing I do, this cracks me up. I've been doing yoga in my living room because my neck was all jacked up, and I'm like, before I got that massage gun that just punched the shit out of the knots in my neck. Amazing tool. I recommend it. Give it a go. If you were like a hard labor guy or, blue collar, let's call it blue collar, check these things out, man. It'll change your, I know some dudes are like, oh, I'm not going for a fucking massage, man. What if a guy rubs me down? That's what you want. You want fucking big burly man just getting in there and digging those knots out. Unless it's like a Helga. Give me a big old Helga. You know, like that bitch would pick me up and just chest press me. Bop, bop, bop. But, fuck. But, Jesus. But, yes, what I am saying is go and get yourself a massage gun. Because that thing just changed my world, man. I felt like a new man when I woke up today. I'm a little sore because obviously it's going to fucking punch your muscles up and leave you a little sore. But, buddy, that thing was great. They're expensive, but if you think about it, 5 massages will pay for it, quite honestly. But what I'm getting at is prior to using this, I was doing yoga in my living room. And I'll explain this as best as I possibly can. I'm in a condo complex, unfortunately, and I'm on the main level. So my window in my living room looks out into a parkade, and you know, there's a female that lives like right there. She parks right there. She gets out and she sees me just hitting the old downward dog, and I've never felt more emasculated in my life. I've never looked and seen somebody and been like, yeah, I get it. Yeah, I know you think I'm a pussy, but I'm sore and I'm trying to fix myself. I'm trying to center my chi. I'm trying to feel, elevated. I'm trying to get on them chickpeas. I'm trying to drink some kombucha, get to know myself. I'm in quarantine. I don't talk to anybody. I got no friends in my house. I got no roommates. I got no significant other here to ask me about how's your day going. I don't have that here right now. So what I'm saying is, I just need you to accept the fact that I am crushing this pose right now, that I am killing this pose, that I am the next OG in the yoga game. I am Bikram fucking yoga, whatever it is. I am the stretch king. I am the samurai of stretch. I am the king colossal of the downward crab, the crouching crab. Oh, you know what I'm going to start doing is let's get into some goat yoga. Those listening right now, please DM me your best passed out pictures on Instagram at UncleHack69. I'll take the top 5 and we're going to do a goat yoga breakdown. I need something to do in these weeks, and like now that I'm like, oh man, I've rid myself of all them headaches. I'm more ambitious. I'm eating clean. But yes, let's do goat yoga breakdowns. And your sensei, will tell you how great your pose looks. I'll guess how much you had to drink. Because nothing I love more than a nice glass of whiskey. I put a little splash of water in it, 2 lime wedges, and a sliver of ginger. That right there is the ticket to happiness. You feel like the first time you walked into a all-you-can-eat buffet. Remember when you were a kid and you walked into an all-you-can-eat buffet, and your mom looked at you and be like, "Okay, grab a plate." What do you mean, just grab a plate and start grabbing shit that I like? Wow, yeah, that's how this works. And you're like, damn, I get it. And then that feeling, and then you're looking at the desserts and you're like, shit, I gotta save room. Do you mind if I just slip a cheesecake on there between my spaghetti, some meatballs, a cheese pizza, garlic toast, and about 4 chicken fingers? You got all the 4 main food groups all in one. That's how good life can be sometimes. Doing yoga in your living room. Hey, here's one for you. Where were all the tarot card readers and the mind readers and the psychics on predicting the fucking pandemic? Where were you at, huh? You think we forgot about you? While this shit was popping off, you think I forgot about you? You think I'm gonna let you slither through the cracks? You're over here trying to predict people's futures. Where were you on this? This one was worldwide, and you dropped the fucking ball. It was your moment to shine, to prove to us that this shit is real, and you dropped the goddamn ball. Shame on you. Shame on you. You're a phony. You're fakes. I'm calling you out right now. Yeah? Oh, well, I can only read minds when the moon is in crescent. When Mars is in Gatorade, and I'm got that aquarium power coming through my vagine, and I just want to spew my emotions into the planet. Well, that didn't happen. See, the moon skipped a heartbeat. And now I'm left over here looking like an idiot because I couldn't predict the future like I said I could. Where were you flipping your cards when the virus started spreading? Where were you? Where were you? Please tell me. I have all day. I'll listen to you. What's your excuse? You phony, you fakes. You done played yourself. You had a chance. You had a chance to save the world. Save the world. We wouldn't have listened to scientists. We would have listened to you. It was your time to shine. And, you know, it was like the Seahawks, you know, instead of giving the ball to Marshawn Lynch to win the Super Bowl, you decided to throw it. And look where it got you. Looking like idiots once again because you didn't flip your cards over and tell us that the world was going to end. You didn't do it. So once again, we're going to have to look at you and your crystal balls and your magic spells and your fucking fairy dust and angel farts and just call your bluff. I'm all in on you. What are you going to do? What's your move? What are you going to do? You going to call me? Perfect. Give me your chips. I know you ain't got fuck all. In fact, you didn't even bring your cards to play. You didn't even flip it over and tell me that the hermit is coming out of his house because the world's ending. Played yourself. Played yourself. And that right there is another Danger Cats podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for coming by. Feeling good? Feeling great? Yes, no. Thank you for all your thoughts and concerns on my mental health, my well-being. I appreciate you. And thanks for tuning in. I'll try and film some. I know I've been saying, I'll film some content to try and entertain all of you fucking peasants as I am in my basement level condo looking not upon you. No, I will definitely make an honest crack at doing some different content rather than this shitty podcast of me rambling on about my thoughts and feelings of the world and what my viewpoints are. And how stupid I actually am. Also, if you're watching, look at this sick dinosaur shirt I picked up in Drumheller. Huh? How deadly is that? It's a T-Rex skull that I got at a gas station for $10. That is a pimp shirt for $10. You can't beat that. I love that. Some of the best shopping you'll ever do is at a gas station. Some of the best shopping, you find the best t-shirts. The best t-shirts. I got this sick one with this like native chief on the cliff. And he's on a horse. And then there's like another cliff. And there's a wolf howling. And like rivers and moons and suns and shit all over it. Man, I'm about that. That's style. When you see a dude wearing a shirt like this, you're like, I get it. Yeah, I can hang out with that guy. He's my speed. That's why I wear shirts like this. So you know that you can run through the jungle. Anyways, Danger Cats podcast. There it is. Another episode. Use the code podcast69 dangercatshop.com. Get 15% off your order. Thanks again to all the Danger Dongs. And hit the link down in the description below. If you're on YouTube, smash subscribe, please. Subscribe. All I'm trying to do is get the clout. Because if I get the clout, I get the money. And once you get the money, you get the fucking girls. All right. One love. Peace. Love. Stay safe. Stay sane. Remember, go down on your girl. Make sure you love her.